Well, howdy friends. Today I'm just going to talk about storms and a little bit of hail and what we've seen in Minnesota recently. So we've been seeing a lot of storms pop up, some of them producing damaging weather events, others not so much. As the general public, you might think, I got hail, oh my gosh, it's damaged. The reality is that's not necessarily the case. What we've seen over the many years, the last 20 years in the exterior remodeling industry, is insurance companies were paying out willy-nilly, and the building codes and everything has set it up for ways to get through and all that stuff. The reality is a lot of businesses were built on storm damage, and don't get me wrong, we've done a ton of storm damage in the past, and I actually rode that train because the demand was there, and my business took off because the demand was so high. I had to grow because of storm demand. But that is different now. The insurance companies have paid out way too much on claims. It was too much of an open book for many years. Businesses were built on taking advantage of that. And let's just be honest, like, the policies, I'm not an adjuster, I'm not a public adjuster, I'm not an attorney, but from how the policies and the laws and everything were written, arguably they were owed, right, for the replacement. Well, that's changing. The insurance companies have been changing policies, and most people don't even know that their policy has changed. Back in the day, the average homeowner would have, sometimes we'd see a $500 deductible, $1,000 deductible. Okay, that's manageable to get a new $20,000 roof, or if you have roof siding, like 40. Just fill in the number, right? That is different now. We're seeing a lot of our customers having very large deductibles and hail and wind deductibles that are different. We're talking 1% of insured value, not market value, insured value. And how much do you insure your home for? More than it's worth, because it costs way more to tear it down in a fire loss and rebuild it than it does to buy it a lot of the times. So, and that's situational, right, depending on the land. But say a $500,000 insured home, a 2% hail and wind deductible, now you're talking $10,000 deductible. Not only that, if it's not a full replacement cost policy and the roof is a $20,000 roof and it's halfway through its life, they depreciate it. That's the actual cash value. Let's just say it's a $20,000 roof, 50% depreciation. That's the $10,000 actual cash value on the check. Well, if your deductible is $10,000, you ain't getting nothing, but you have a damaged roof, and now you're not insured for that roof, and they know that it's damaged. Now you have to replace that roof regardless. So the question that you really need to ask as a homeowner, is it worth filing a claim? And the problem is, who do you know to trust? Because most of the companies out there that do storm related work, they're incentivized to get you to file a claim and get a ton of people to file a claim and use the law of large numbers. They get 100 people to file a claim, they get how many claims approved, that's this much revenue. Their whole business is built on it. And that's what the door knocking business is built off of, is the law of large numbers and working those numbers and the variables. It's very hard as a homeowner to know who to trust. It's frustrating. I can understand. The reality is, though, too, there is real damage out there. But specifically what happened in Minnesota the other week on June 19th, we had a storm I'll talk about specifically in the Roseville area. This one, there was some hail that was damaging, most of it arguably not. Very soft, very small pea size, but a lot of it. Is that going to cause deterioration on the property? Potentially, yeah. Is that going to cause damage to the roof? Maybe. But is it worthwhile to file the claim if your insurance company is not going to recognize that and approve and pay for it? That's a real thing that you need to ask yourself. And who knows the answer to that? Well, a contractor. Well, what kind of contractor? Are they majority storm work? Are they majority, or are they just a business to push high numbers through? And who owns it, right? Like, what do they really care about? Do they care about the community, the reputation, all that, or do they only care about revenue? A lot of companies have been purchased out by private equity and Wall Street. When my business was doing north of 8 figures, we've downsized now. But when we were doing north of 8 figures and the other companies that were in that range, I would guess about 50% of them, of my competitors, got bought out by private equity. Did I have the option to sell? 100%. Did I do it? No. Thankfully, because I have advisors and people that kind of tell me about what the years forward look like after that, and it just doesn't align with my values. So those businesses ultimately have investors, and they have investors they have to pay money back to. So you really need to, as a homeowner, be mindful of who you're hiring, who owns the company, what are their incentives, what are they trying to do? Are they trying to just get revenue out of you, or are they trying to serve you for what's best for you? So a good qualifying questions to ask as a homeowner the next time you have hail at your home and you're deciding who to come out and inspect it. There's a lot of reputable companies in the area, a lot of owners and good people. And I will even say, if you ever want a recommendation of a roofer locally outside of even my company, I'd be happy to give those referrals. And even compete against them for your business, because they are good people, and I'd rather see the business go to the locally owned and the ones that have the customer's values in mind than to the ones that don't. So that's one question to ask and think about, is like, who owns it? What are the incentives? Are they doing majority of storm-related work? Is that how they're incentivized? Or are they incentivized to build a brand and maintain a customer relationship and get referrals out of that for other work, like gutters, windows, siding, all those things? Like, or are they just trying to get that roof? Also, there's a lot of other qualifying questions that apply on a general standpoint. Insurance, licensing, like reviews, time in business, all those things. Time in business is a very important one, I think, because experience in the business isn't necessarily the same, and it's not all the same. Time in business and who's been in leadership over that time in business is very important, because they understand the nuances of doing things and how to navigate the challenges as an owner of a contracting business, and have been through that and understand how to create a brand that can fall through. There's a lot of good companies locally. There really are, and I respect a lot of them in the area, and I consider a lot of the owners my friends, and I like competing against my friends, because I know that the community that we're operating in is being treated the way that they deserve to be treated as owners. Their safety, their values, the longevity, and just the interpersonal connection with the customers is important to these people. So if you found this valuable, I hope so. See you next time.